start with our prayer. Sri Gurubhyo Namah Harihi Om. Sahana Bhavatu Sahanu Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om. Asato ma Sadgamaya Tamaso ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Aviravirmayedhi. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om. May we be protected, may we be nourished, may we strive with energy and vigor. May our study be enlightening and not give rise to hostility. Om peace, peace, peace. Today we'll meditate on Sri Ramakrishna. So I'll start with a prayer for him, composed by Swami Vivekananda. Achandala pratihatarayo yasya prema prabhaha lokatitopyahanajaho lokakalyanmargam त्रैलोक्येऽप्य प्रतिममहिमा जानकी प्राणबन्धो त्रैलोक्येऽप्य प्रतिममहिमा जानकी प्राणबन्धो भक्त्या ज्ञानमृतवर्वपुः सीतया यो हि रामः भक्त्या ज्ञानं वृतवर्वपुः सीतया यो हि रामः स्तब्धीकृत्य प्रलयकलितं वाहवोत्थं महान्तम् हित्वा रात्रिं प्रकृतिसहजाम् अन्धतामिश्रमिश्राम् गीतं शान्तं मधुरमपि यः सिंहनादं जगर्ज गीतं शान्तं मधुरमपि यः सिंहनादं जगर्ज सोऽयं जातः प्रथितपुरुषो रामकृष्णस्तिदानीं सोऽयं जातः प्रथितपुरुषो रामकृष्णस्तिदानीम्. He who was Sri Rama, whose stream of love flowed with restlessness, resistless, might even to the Chandala, to outcast. Oh, whoever was engaged in doing good to the world through superhuman by nature, whose renown there is none to equal in the three worlds, Sita's beloved, whose body of knowledge supreme was covered by devotion sweet in the form of Sita. He who quelled the noise terrible like that at the time of destruction arising from the battle of Kurukshetra, who destroyed the terrible yet natural night of ignorance of Arjuna, and who wrote out the Gita, sweet and appeasing, that same renowned soul is now born as Sri Ramakrishna, Prathita Purusha, Uttama Purusha. So in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan said that whenever there is decline in righteousness, then I incarnate myself. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyutthanam adharmasya. And irreligion, non-righteousness appears in the society, then I incarnate myself. So two words are there. One is incarnation and reincarnation. So what is reincarnation? We reincarnate. That means birth, death, birth, death, birth, death. So this is reincarnation. But incarnation means descending. Descending, one is in supreme abode. And he comes down for the welfare of the world. So let us consider a little what was the prevailing society and the world, and that remnant of that still we see. Though inspired by Sri Ramakrishna, Swami Vivekananda came to the West and delivered the gospel of harmony to the world on 9/11, we can see the opposite of that on another 9/11. So it is still going on. It's not that remnant. The difference between various faiths, various ways of worshipping God are so drastic that they think that they will convert the whole world to their faith. And for that, whatever is required, they are ready to do it. Even it is available today. But parallelly, we find a stream, a new stream has started. That stream is of coexistence. And not only coexistence, but in the Western world, its world is called tolerance. Tolerance means I accept, I tolerate you. Though you are lower than me, but I tolerate you somehow. What to do? I cannot kill you. So not tolerance, acceptance. So we see acceptance, and this is a modern trend. Say for 1,000 years it was crusade, and in all parts of the world some differences were there, even in India. Some are Shaktas, some are Vaishnavas, some are Ganapatyas, various worshippers. And they used to quarrel, not like killing each other, but they were hitting each other. So this was the prevailing situation. And in the West, it was, of course, killing it was there. We can see in crusade for 1,000 years, about 1,000 years. So, not tolerance, then came tolerance, and then now acceptance. This is the new gospel, harmony, gospel of harmony. And how that happened? The Supreme Being, the Divine Being, incarnated for that. And not only it is in theory, but he practiced in his own life various ways. First as simple human being, but then with the help of his gurus, he practiced various ways to achieve the same goal. I'm talking about Sri Ramakrishna. So that is, in short, that prevailing situation was there in the world, and because of that, the Supreme Being incarnated to show the way. So, as we find, Sri Ramakrishna was born on 18 February 1836. And right from his childhood, first his parents were so pious, naturally he was born there. Once Girish Chandra Ghosh requested, "You are to be born as my child." He said, "How can I born as your child? My parents were so pious." And as we know that when his father was traveling to Gaya, he got a vision, and Gadadhar, the another epithet of Vishnu, he appeared before him and said that I want to come to your family. Then he protested, "How can that be? I am a very poor Brahmin. How can I nourish you and nurture you?" He said, "Not to worry, that I'll arrange. So no problem." And his mother, Chandramani Devi, also got a vision when she was worshipping the yogis Shiva. And that's very close where they lived. And a flood of light entered into her, and she felt that she was conceiving. And after that, Sri Ramakrishna was born, as we know. And right from his childhood, he was of that nature that he was not very attracted to secular knowledge. He said, "I am not interested in Chalkolabadha Vidya." That means by which money is earned. I am interested in a different kind of Vidya. We find in Upanishad there are two kinds of Vidya. Paravidya, supreme knowledge, and Aparavidya, not so supreme knowledge, ordinary knowledge of this world. And for that matter, we know that even Vedas are of this world. Yaya tat aksharam adhigamyate sapara, by which we know the Supreme Being. That alone is supreme knowledge. So he was interested in supreme knowledge, not money earning. Should we avoid that? I am not telling that. Those who want to it, very good. We have to try to do that. In Vedas also, like the prosperity is the first thing. So it is not denied in Vedas, but Sri Ramakrishna was made in a different way. In the words of M, later he said that all are made like in a machine, but you were made in a special way. Even you can see his features. His ears were a bit lower. So all others were made through or by a machine, as it were. But you are made in a different way, very special way. So Sri Ramakrishna was completely different. It's not ordinary people like who strive or who wants to earn money and have children and all these things, as we know. But right from his childhood he was like that. He was interested only in God and God alone. Later he said, "Mairi bolchi, I am swearing in my mother's name that I don't know anything else but God." So this was his bent up mind right from his childhood. And then we find two incidents that happened. Once he was in a paddy field and he saw line of white crane of the background which was dark cloud, and that was so poetic, and he got inspired and he became overwhelmed, and he became he lost outer consciousness. So he became unconscious. So people brought him home. So that is one incident that we find first time it happens. Second time, when he was traveling with ladies and all were singing the glory of mother, then he got another trance. He got unconscious, he lost outer consciousness, and he was totally immersed in mother. And when those ladies chanted the name of mother, then he regained outer consciousness. Another incident happened. You know that, but still it is very interesting to hear again and again. That in a village, people enact drama. So on Shivaratri day, they have vigil. They wake the whole night, and therefore they have various kinds of entertaining things, so that they are mindful of Shiva at the same time they are waking. So Shivaratri day, there was a drama on Shiva. But difficulty was there that the main person who was supposed to be Shiva was not available. He was ill. So what to do? They thought this Gadadhar will be the exact, say, the character what we are searching, because he knew all the songs, etc., by heart, and also he behaved many times like Shiva. Everybody thought that he will be perfect match for that. And as we know, that on that day he was dressed like Shiva and he looked like Shiva. But when he went on the stage, he was totally lost in the thought of Shiva, and he could not utter a word, and he was in samadhi. And he spoiled the whole drama. So it's very interesting. And he used to play with his chums. He used to make various statues of gods and goddesses and worship them. But he always avoided to go to school, because mathematics was his weakness. Later also, when he is in samadhi, he could not count continuously. Why? Because when you go to 1, when there is no 2, how can you say 1, 2, 3, 4? There is no sequence. So right from his childhood, of course it is jokingly that we find that trait. Anyway, after that his father passes away, and before that a thread ceremony happens, that also you know. And then after the passing away of his father, then only he could understand this world is temporary. It is fleeting. So he started going to a burning ghat, like it's like cemetery. And there he would meditate for long hours to find what is the truth. And then gradually his brother used to go to Calcutta for earning money. And he thought that it will be good that if he accompanies there, so he'll be engaged in something, and also will earn something by worshipping various deities. That's the profession of the family. So he went there, but he never relished that to go to somebody's place and worship on their behalf. So anyway, gradually what happens, as we know, Rani Rasmani, he builds a wonderful temple on the bank of Ganga. Even today it is there, beautiful, and it's so divine that in presence of Ganga. And that time it was full of trees, but now lots of roads and railroads, etc. are there. But still, it is good. But that time it was extraordinary, great place uh, for sadhana. And uh, the problem was that nobody was ready to consecrate that temple because the lady was from lower caste. But Ram Kumar, his elder brother, suggested that if she uh, make a gift of the property to his guru, her guru, then it does not belong to her anymore. Therefore, that can be consecration can be done. So this way, he opened up, and then he becomes the priest there, because that was the demand. And later, Sri Ramakrishna also joins him, though in the beginning he was against it because he was more interested in following the traditional way. So he used to take raw rice and some vegetables and would cook for himself. So it is not, it's not conducive to eat somebody else's food for sadhana. So that is why he used to take the raw materials and would cook on the bank of Ganga in Ganga water. So Ganga water is pure, and when it is cooked by himself, so it is purer. So that way he used to sustain for some days. But later he thought, and he was engaged when his elder brother was ill, then he had to take that job and started worshipping Mother Kali. But in his case, it was completely different. He was totally dedicated. And he thought that Mother, this is Mother, Jagadamba. And he was her child. A simple-hearted person, totally depending on God. And he strove and he prayed intensely. Oh Mother, you have given benign darshan to Ram Prasad and so many other sadhakas, aspirants. Why not you are giving darshan to me? So this way he prayed and prayed. And one day his agony was so unbearable that he thought that he'll end his life because he cannot tolerate any longer. And when he went to the temple and he saw the sword of Mother Kali was hanging, he took that and he wanted to kill himself. Such was his agony. And that moment the magic happened. And that time he was flooded with effulgence. And he was totally soaked in it and merged in it. So that was his darshan of that time. So after that, gradually it was, and before, of course, we can go a little more, because before that, when he was worshipping, his worship was out of the world. He was totally concentrating on Mother, and sometimes he would take longer time, which upset people, other priests. Because, like generally what we do, we worship food, keep food in her front or in front of deity, and we offer that, and we mentally think that the deity is accepting it, and then we take away. But Sri Ramakrishna would sit for a long time, say 3, 4, 5 hours, and would sometimes casual Mother, oh Mother, please eat, please eat. And sometimes, he would see that this cat is coming, so this is a mother. So he would feed that. So that upset the other people. And it was reported, and Mathur Babu came and saw his worship. He said, nobody dare to touch him or say anything. Only he will do who has two heads on the shoulder. One head I'll remove. So anyway, so was such a wonderful worship. But everybody could feel that something extraordinary things are happening. Anyway, so that was his first stage. But then after that, what happened? He requested the Divine Mother, "Oh Mother, now I see you, but I want to experience how your other devotees do." And then one by one, various teachers came and they taught him various ways. A Bhairavi Brahmani came, and when she arrived, Sri Ramakrishna asked his nephew, Ride, go and ask her. He said, no, she's a woman and you are a monk. Said, no, go and ask. So when Ride went there and informed that my uncle wants to talk to you, said, yes. And immediately she came and said, yes, Baba. Baba means father. I was searching 3 people. I found 2 in East Bengal, but you are the one I was searching. And then she introduced and made Sri Ramakrishna perform almost 64 kinds of tantra. And then in Vaishnavas also there are various kinds of sadhana. One is of Shanta. Shanta means peaceful way of worshipping, meditation and absorption. And then Dasya, as a servant like Hanuman. So Sri Ramakrishna also practiced that. He conceived himself as Hanuman and started whooping around. And and the speciality was that whatever he thought, he was totally absorbed in that idea. And in that state, he also had darshan of Mother Sita and totally dedicated. No, that time, no, not that time. When he was conceiving himself as Sita that time, and Mother Sita came and merged in his body. Similarly, he had also worshipped as a Shanta Dasya. One monk came, I think Jatadhari. So he had a small idol. Apparently people will say he had a small idol, like we have 2, Rama and Krishna, if you have seen. So the people worship them, keep with them. But actually what they see, actually it is Rama who is accompanying him and doing various pranks. So people would not see, but those advanced sadhaka would see. And when he came to Dakshineshwar, the Ramlala was fond of Sri Ramakrishna, and he left him. And previously he was upset, but later he could understand that he has achieved what was meant to achieve after worshipping Ramlala, baby Rama. Anyway, similarly he did all kinds of Shanta Dasya. Dasya means as Hanuman, and then Shanta Dasya, Saukhya, friendship, Vatsalya Madhur. And Vatsalya, he was already a child of Mother Kali. And ultimately comes Totapuri. A monk arrives who was naked. In say Kumbh Mela you can see lots of Naga sadhus. So he was from Puri Sampradaya. We have 10 traditional like a stream. So Naga Sampradaya. So Puri, Giri, Bharati, etc., etc. So we are Puri, that's why. So he came and he saw this boy, and he thought he'll be a wonderful recipient of Advaita knowledge. So he asked, "Oh, bache, suno, come here, listen, oh boy." That time he was not aged. So, would you do sadhana, Advaita sadhana? He said, "I don't know. My mother knows." Okay, go and ask her. So he thought his worldly mother. But he went to the temple and came back with dancing, like he was very happy. What? And he said that a mother has given me permission, and not only that, she said that he has come for you. I have arranged this. So mother organized everything. And then came his sadhana. So sadhana, for 3 days and 3 nights, they were talking about Vedanta, Brahma Satya. Brahma alone is true, and not this world. World is illusory. And as we know, his guru asked him to meditate on that Supreme Brahman and not to think anything else. Anyway, that time Bhairavi Brahmani also was there. And she forbade Ramakrishna, "Don't talk to him. Your devotion will go." So he said, "Not to worry." So when he was meditating all the time, the face of sweet and blissful mother came in front of him. And he said, "I cannot do it. I cannot get out of it." So his guru was angry. "Kyun nahi hoga? Why not?" Then he took a piece of glass and pierced in between the brows. He said, "Concentrate there." So when he was concentrating, this time also mother came, smiling. Then he took the sword of knowledge, that all forms are not real, and this, that. And he cut her into 2. And after that, his mind was totally absorbed in Nirvishesh Brahman. So he practiced all kinds of things, dualistic, non-dualistic, or Vishishta Advaitavadin, all kinds of things. And after that, he comes to the conclusion that as many faiths, so many paths. Jato mat, tato path. So all paths are equally valid. It is not that someone is real or true and some are not true. No. All paths are equally valid. Sri Ramakrishna says, if you find fault, then in every religion you will find fault. So this is the universality, that all religions are valid and true. Only thing that one should strive it with sincerity, with devotion, with one-pointed mind. And the goal of life is to achieve that reality. Truth, what we call God. And God can be called in any name that you want to say. Allah, God, etc. And so many. So what is his messages? Let us concentrate on that. Okay. The goal of human life is the realization of the ultimate reality. Ultimate reality. What is that ultimate reality? We have reality. So this is relative. In relative plane, we have various experiences. And when we experience, we cannot deny it. So those also have some existence, though it is temporary. What is that reality which is underlying in all our fleeting experiences? That we have to find out. That we have to find out. The ultimate reality which alone can give man supreme fulfillment and everlasting peace. What happens? We want to get peace and tranquility in the things of the world. It is like for walking, we want to depend on something which will break any time. So that is not the way. The way is to depend on something which is everlasting. Then only we are saved. What is everlasting? What is within us? The divinity that's already within us. Each soul is divine. To manifest this divinity is the goal of life. So this goal of human life is to realize one's own self, ultimate reality. The ultimate reality is one, but it is personal as well as impersonal. Yes, we can have any relationship with him. So personally, as Sri Ramakrishna showed, the Divine Mother, when Narendranath came and said, all you see, all your hallucination, nothing else. Then Sri Ramakrishna said, no, she talks to me. Oh, that happens when your mind is like that. Oh, that's also a hallucination. No. And then what I did, I took a piece of cotton and put in front of the nostril. And it was going up and down, up and down. For us, we, like Narendranath, we don't want to believe. But Sri Ramakrishna experimented. And not only that, he would say that sometimes mother would walk with her jingling sound of anklets and would go sometimes up and down. I would see, oh, mother is standing there and her hairs are flowing. So this is all his experiences, we cannot deny. Though we may not have it, we want to have in a different way. Yomam pashyati sarvatram, sarvam cha mai pashyati. He who sees me in everything and everything in me. So this is the way, a different way of seeing. But even personally it is possible. It's personal and impersonal. And both can coexist. It's not either of them. It is all. Truth must have infinite, radius, infinite radius. The same thing has got so many aspects. And Sri Ramakrishna said, God is with form, God is without form, and so many other things which we cannot fathom. If we could have fathomed, he said, you cannot. How? If a container can have 1 gallon, you cannot pour 10 gallons. So our container is small. We cannot understand with this understanding or this logic. So, ultimate reality is one, but it is personal as well as impersonal, and is indicated by different names such as God, Ishvara, etc., etc. The ultimate reality can be realized through various paths taught in world religions. All religions are true in so far as they lead to the same ultimate goal, if it is done sincerely. If someone only follows the superficial way, that is not religion. Somebody wants to, kill infidels. So is that religion? That is to be asked. Religion means, what Swamiji said, to be good and to do good. This is the whole of religion. By killing others, how can you be good? So, here what is being said, religion, all religions are good, means that which lead you to higher goal, that uplifts you from your lower basal state of mind. That is religion. If by doing that, if you are uplifting yourself, yes, go ahead. But that does not happen. That's why basic tenets are to be practiced. Truthfulness, satya, ahimsa, not hating others, ahimsa, brahmacharya, and aparigraha, achaurya. All these are basic tenets. Those are to be practiced. So Sri Ramakrishna says in the third one, purity of mind is the essential condition for the attainment of the ultimate reality. You know, many times we are very intelligent, and that very intelligence is impediment in our way. So this is to be shunned. Purity of mind is an essential. Like child does not require a whole lecture. Whatever you say, he takes it, believes it as it is. Mother said there is a bugaboo in the next room, and he believes 125%. Yes, that is there. Mother told me, so that must be there. So purity of mind is an essential condition for attainment of the ultimate reality. Real purity is freedom from lust and greed. The two things, lust and greed. This is very important. Other things are also impediment, but this is the enemy. The destruction is total. But truthfulness and say non-hating, satya, ahimsa, brahmacharya, aparigraha, and then asteya, and then tapa, swadhyaya, ishwar, pranidhanani, kriya yoga, all these things are essential. But at least if one is careful about two things, he'll progress gradually. Lust and greed. External observances are only of secondary importance. Through spiritual practices, man can overcome his evil tendencies. So, to overcome evil tendencies, one should surrender oneself to God, and then God will take care of us. Only thing, we need to surrender. God realization is possible for all. The householders need not renounce the world, but they should pray sincerely, practice this discrimination between the eternal and the temporal, and remain unattached. God listens to sincere prayer. And he said prayer means so intense that one should weep. And when one weeps, then all the muds are removed. And then God realization is possible. God dwells in all people, but the manifestation of this inner divinity varies from person to person. In saintly people, there is greater manifestation of God. Women are special manifestations of Divine Mother of the universe, and so are to be treated with respect. Since God dwells in all people, helping the needy should be done not out of compassion, which is an attitude of condescending, but as humble service to God. So like we have a program, Serve God in Man. So all the time we have to think that I am serving God. Whatever offering that we have, that is that is for the service of God. And all the materials, who is the master of them? It is God. God's material we worship or give to another God. Therefore, it is not mine. Since God dwells in all people. Okay, egoism caused by ignorance is the root cause of all suffering. That's why, example, Sri Ramakrishna said that a calf says hamba, hamba. Sri Ramakrishna's way of teaching is very important. Hamba, hamba means hum, I am, I am. So I am, that means he's butchered and his meat is sold, and then skin is, the hide is used for drums, and it is beaten mercilessly. And ultimately when the carding instrument is made, that time they used to do like that. And that time it says tuhu, tuhu, tuhu. So this is illustration is exemplary. So when tuhu, tuhu, when we say you, thou, thou, then only our suffering will go. Otherwise we'll have to suffer a lot. Suffer a lot. Life is an expression of the spontaneous creativity, lila, of God. Pleasure and pain, success and failure are, etc., are to be borne with practice. And one should resign oneself to God's will under all circumstances. That's why, what we are studying in Bhagavad Gita, there also we are studying amanittam, adambittam, ahimsa, shantihi, arjavam. So this we have already gone through. So in the life of Sri Ramakrishna, we see manifestations of these. And not only manifestation of these, but he prescribed also, so that we are emancipated. Many other incidents happened in the life of Sri Ramakrishna, how he worships Sri Sharda Devi, his consort, as Divine Mother, that we know. It's such a wonderful act of divinity to invoke the Divine Mother in the person of Sri Sharda Devi to help humanity. So this is very important, because the Kundalini of this world was dormant. By invoking Mother in the person of Sri Sharda Devi, he invoked the Kundalini power of this whole world. And we see around that time the awakening comes in the whole world, right from the physics, like all kinds of, we see a tremendous upliftment, even physically, in knowledge also. So, only thing those who have eyes can see how Sri Ramakrishna invoked the Kundalini of this whole world. And now we can see how fast it is going on, as if every day, every moment it is faster than previous one. And then comes the younger disciples, Narendranath, who was searching God. And he asks him, have you seen God, dear sir? And he says, yes, I have seen. I see him. I see him more clearly than I see you. And if you want, you also can see him. Only thing, who wants him? Who wants to see God? Everybody shedding tears in a jug full of tears for their relatives, etc., etc. But nobody is interested in God realization. But later these a band of young disciples joins him, and then uh, one of him came to Chicago, as we know, and later also 3, 4 more came. Swami Shardananda, Turiyananda ji, and Abhedanand ji, all these came. And gradually we see this upheaval. So that's also very important. Now let us uh, just read out some teachings. He is born in vain, who, having attained the human birth, so difficult to get, does not attempt to realize God in this very life. At least one should attempt. And one should attempt with sincerity. Then path will be opened unto him. God is ready. If you walk, as Sri Ramakrishna said, one step towards him, he walks 99 steps. He is so compassionate. Only thing we need to realize it. Removing all our dirts from our minds. So this is very much there. We have to realize in our lives. You see many stars in the sky at night, but not when the sun rises. Can you therefore say that there are no stars in the heavens during the day, O man? Because you cannot find God in the days of your ignorance, say no, that there is no God. You see, like this. Nowadays, as education is spreading, science is spreading, the tendency is there not to believe in God. But it's not God who is sitting on the seventh heaven. God is within us. God is all pervading. So, Sri Ramakrishna came and he manifested that divinity himself, in himself, and then showed him. He was Bani Rupe Ashiacho Murati Dhari. So you took a form and you showed the way how to reach God. Not only there, you are still with us in the form of your words. So if you read Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, you can feel his presence. That's why it's very important to read the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. If you read that, you can feel that Sri Ramakrishna is sitting in front of you and he is entering through his words. Bani rupe rohi acho muroti dhari Ramakrishna tomai pranama kari. So you are existing in the form of words and I offer my pranams to you. And Antar Bihari, you had someone who dwells in your heart. Antar Bihari ছিল তব সঙ্গে দেখাইলে তুমি তারে নানা রূপ ভঙ্গে. So your indweller, you brought him out and showed it in various ways. If you read Sri Ramakrishna's life and his teachings, you will see God is coming out of our heart and showing different forms and also showing how to reach him. Antar Bihari Chilo Tabo Sange. You have indweller, you have indweller. And you have shown him in various ways, in various manners, so that we also can see him. And if one sees Sri Ramakrishna, he sees God. See, here we are not to bluff. No. That's not in our nature. Only thing, you have to remove this doubt. Samshaya Atma Vinashyati. Those who have doubt, they cannot progress. So doubt, how to remove doubt? Yes, ask, argue, but with sincerity, not for argumentation's sake. So that's very important. You see many stars in the sky. So, like, if you see Sri Ramakrishna, you are seeing God. Personalized form. But if you want to enjoy his company, you have to meditate on him. One cannot have the vision of God as long as one has these three: shame, hatred, and fear. Not shame. Shame. Why he said this? Because people are ashamed. What, I'm going to Vedanta. What people will say? I'm not Vedanta. I'm singing the God's glory. What people will say? He has gone crazy. Shame, hatred. But Holy Mother taught the reverse. He said, if there is shame, hatred, and fear, then he can achieve. That means the reference of both are different. Holy Mother said, hatred from bad path and shame to go to that path, and also fear means like, oh, what people will say if I go that path. So that fear. But Sri Ramakrishna said, no, to take name of God, no, there should not be any fear or hatred or shame. That time it was there like that. Like in Calcutta, if a Babu means gentleman, he's drawing water from a well. So he was afraid, oh, people are seeing that I should be in my parlor and my servant should do this. So this was the condition that time. Anyway, do not let worldly thoughts and anxieties disturb your mind. Do everything that is necessary in the proper time and let your mind be always fixed on God. Our mind is fixed on something else other than God. That's the problem. You should remember that the heart of the devotee is the abode of God. That's very important. Sri Ramakrishna said that the heart of devotee is like parlor house of the aristocrat. That means he dwells there. Though he may be present anywhere in his property, but he is invariably will be at his parlor house. You should remember that the heart of the devotee is the abode of God. He dwells, no doubt, in all beings, but he especially manifests himself in the heart of devotee. See, and it gives joy. Just think about it. You'll feel joy. The heart of devotee, because heart of devotee is pure, unadulterated, and not, heap of rubbish is there. But if you go to say politician or this and that, they are fighting and business, like there is no end of that. I don't want to mention even. Okay. Pure knowledge, and because, such a wonderful mood becomes dissipated. So it is better not to mention. Pure knowledge and pure love are one and same thing. The people fight. No, knowledge is better. No, devotion is better. No need of fighting. Because both are the same. Obverse and reverse of the same coin. So, pure knowledge and pure love are one and the same thing. Both lead the aspirants to the same goal. The path of love is much easier. That's there. Even Sri Krishna said that klesho adhika tarastesham abhyakta asakta chetasam. Those who are attached with some entity which is not manifested, how can you conceive that? At the time of Sri Ramakrishna, so Brahmo devotees were like that. So Brahman is without any feature. So how to worship? Na feet. So without body, only 2 feet are drawn. And he said even a child of 10 years, he's also seeing without form, God without form. Ridiculous. So there's no harm thinking God is in form. See, so easy. You can meditate on His form, on His name, on His qualities, His divine play, and then when mind is ready, then what He really is. But before that, there is no harm. Okay. Live in the world like a waterfowl. The water clings to the bird, but the bird shakes it off. Live in the world like the mudfish, like a mudfish. The fish lives in mud, but its skin is always bright and shining. Who is the best devotee of God? It is he who sees, after the realization of Brahman, that God alone has become all living beings. All living beings. Even the lowly of lowly. All are various different manifestations of God. One must discriminate at first, saying not this, neti neti. But after that he should accept everything. Everything means not confusion, okay? Not to accept confusion. One should be aware of that. Not confusion, not greed, not lust. Okay. I tell you the truth, there is nothing wrong in your being in the world. So he said, truly he is saying, there is nothing wrong. I tell you the truth, there is nothing wrong in your being in the world, but you must direct your mind toward God. Otherwise, you will not succeed. Do your duty. Of course, this is a bit difficult. Being in a situation where it's difficult to put the mind toward God. But Sri Ramakrishna said they are like heroic. Who is doing, both? Like says, they are managing the world, at the same time his mind is towards God. So they are heroic devotees. Okay. Do your duty with one hand and with the other hold to God. After the duty is over, you will hold to God with both hands. And he gave example. In Bengal side, when newlywed brides would cross the villages, people would go and see a new bride. So some people without any load, but some people are carrying load and still they would see the bride. So the Grihasthas are like that. They have full load of world over their head, but still they are seeking God. So that is why they are very heroic. The breeze of his, and see, like I also wonder how much, our devotees, how much they are, say, how much work they are doing. Still they are coming and devoting their time for God. That is why, it's extraordinary. So breeze of his grace is blowing day and night over your head. Unfurl the sails of your boat, that means mind, if you want to make rapid progress through the ocean of life. What I was mentioning, some people serve, some companions, still they cook and then manage the family and so many others, and I cannot imagine. So such devotees are really heroic. So anyway, one should constantly repeat the name of God. The name of God is highly effective in the Kali Yuga. The practice of yoga, so repeating the name of God, many can um, practice this, or it can be practiced that with the breath, like incoming and outgoing, one can chant the name of God. And it is possible. It's not impossible. The practice of yoga is not possible in this age, for the life of a man depends on food. Clap your hands while repeating God's name, and the birds of your sins will fly away. You know, when Sri Ramakrishna was undergoing the training under Totapuri, so after the discussion, then Sri Ramakrishna would sing that Holy Mother's name, Divine Mother's name. Like he said this. Not only he prescribed, he used to practice that, clapping, and he would chant the mother's name. And then this sannyasin, Totapuri said, "Kyun roti thokte ho?" Why you are making chapatis? Then he said, Shala means rascal. He's talking to his guru. That I'm taking the name of God and saying I'm making roti. And then he taught him a lesson when he was meditating in front of a dhuni, means fire. And a priest of Dakshineshwar, he came to take the amber from that charcoal, so that he can put on his puffing, what is that called? Hookah. Okay. So it was sacred, and the Totapuri was angry, and he was going to beat him with his tongue. So, and Sri Ramakrishna started laughing at him. I said, you were talking that everything is God. Now you are mad at that priest. Where that knowledge has gone. So this is wonderful, Sri Ramakrishna's life it's joyous to even go through, and full of teachings that how one should interact with the people and what various categories are there. So this is a wonderful, treat to go through the life of Sri Ramakrishna. You can enjoy, and also you can have the greatest teachings. So on his birth anniversary, we have performed on 1st of March. So I thought it is fitting that we should talk about him, because life is more important than theory. Theory is good because that gives us a general knowledge, a common minimum principles. But life, without life, it is worthless. Life is very important. And that can be practiced. That gives that confidence, yes. And there are so many, how Swami Vivekananda described him, that you can go through Khandana, Bhava Vandana, Jaga Vandana, Banditumai. And the pranam mantra that he has given, that Sthapakaya cha dharmasya sarva dharma swarupini avatara varisthaya Ramakrishnaya tena. Swamiji was not, not flattering. What he felt, and he told him in front of Sri Ramakrishna. So when Swamiji writes Avatar Varisthaya, means greatest of incarnations, it is not flattering. It is his real statement. So we have to contemplate on that, why he is the highest manifestation of incarnations. That is a wonderful study, and there are so many qualities that he has mentioned. In the Arati Stotra, signs and symptoms of God-man, There is no mention of Sri Ramakrishna, but that was in his front, and that he described there. And he saw in the person of Sri Ramakrishna that he used to change people. He used to totally change people. And apparently, see, this happened with Narendranath also. He was so strong minded, but still he made him like a mud, and he could shape any way he wanted. So this is not ordinary human being. As a supreme being came in that form. Therefore, on this occasion, we are to contemplate on him. And as we dive deep, we can enjoy and we can uplift ourselves. So with this prayer, that his grace be showered on all of us, that's my humble prayer for all of you. We'll say our prayer. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Tatsat. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Thank you.
Filled with Brahman are the things we see. Filled with Brahman are the things we see not. From out of Brahman floweth all that is. From Brahman all, yet is he still the same. Filled with Brahman are the things we see. Filled with Brahman are the things we see not. From out of Brahman floweth all that is. From Brahman all, yet is he still the same. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Holy God, we praise thy name. Lord in heaven within adore thee. Infinite thy vast domain, everlasting is thy reign. Holy God, we praise thy name. Lord in heaven, within adore thee. Infinite thy vast domain, everlasting is thy reign, everlasting is thy reign. Holy God, we praise thy name. Lord in heaven, within adore thee. Infinite thy vast domain, everlasting is thy reign, everlasting